Good afternoon, Peter. Thank you for taking time out of your day to join me for this interview.
Today we're going to be talking about the difference between skiing and snowboarding and some of the controversies between the two sports. Now, you ski or snowboard?
I actually do both.
You do both?
Yeah.
Well, do you have a primary one or no?
Well, I'm better at skiing, so that's the one I choose most of the
Okay.
time.
Okay. And so you've tried both sports. What did you experience when trying both sports?
Well, it was a very hard transition going from skiing to snowboarding because I started out as a skier, and you lean forward a lot as a skier. So as snowboarding, you tend to lean backwards to not fall over yourself.
So it was a bit of an awkward transition.
Yeah, exactly. It was
So,
hard to translate.
Me, I've skied. I haven't tried snowboarding, so I'm sure it's very difficult to switch between the two. Now, why do you think skiers and snowboarders don't always necessarily get along?
Well, I don't know. I feel like there's that kind of aspect in every kind of sport. You know, what I mean, it's
Yeah.
not just skiing or snowboarding. Like you have lefties in golf and righties in golf. It's kind of same thing,
That's true.
but it's just because they're different ideas. They're different things. Everyone's always gonna have a different
Different
opinion.
on
Yeah,
both. I
exactly.
agree. And have you ever experienced, getting laughed at or had a joke when you're skiing or snowboarding by the other sport by any chance?
Well, yeah, of course. I mean,
By
like,
the boys.
yeah.
By
It's
the
just
boys, okay.
just jokes though. Nothing
Just
harmful,
jokes,
really.
nothing really hurtful. Okay,
Mhm,
that's good to hear.
Yeah.
Now, what are some of the biggest stereotypes that you encounter about skiing and snowboarding? Are there any specific stereotypes that you can think of?
Well, I don't think they're true, but like the ones I've heard are snowboarders are like hippies, you know, they're like surfers.
Yeah, they're cooler.
Yeah.
They're cooler per
Yeah.
se.
Quotation
Yeah,
marks cooler.
Quotation marks, yeah.
Hmm.
And sometimes skiers are seen as children or like the easier sport kind
Yeah,
of per se.
yeah.
But they're
Mhm.
both about equal. That moves and leads me into my next question. Which sport do you think is harder to learn since you've done both sports, of course?
Yes. I think it's harder to ski to master skiing
Okay.
because there's so much more movement than snowboarding. You have
Yeah.
two skis which versus one snowboard.
Yeah, that's true. And which one did you start off learning first?
I started with skiing.
You started with skiing
Yes.
and you transitioned to snowboarding?
Yeah.
Okay. So was it harder to transition from skiing to snowboarding than you think from snowboarding to skiing?
Yeah, I'd say so because you're already comfortable on the hill if you're snowboarding to skiing. You know everything, but it's just a different technique when you go from skiing to snowboarding.
That's
So
true. That's a good point. Now, have you ever had an accident from somebody with the other sport, ran into somebody, or had a close call where you were just pissed off that it was the other sport rather than your sport?
no, I have. That's never happened to me.
Okay.
I'm mad at someone if they crash into me either way.
Yeah, that's
No.
fair. So it's no bias, no matter who crashes into you. You're
Exactly,
upset 'cause
yeah.
It's their fault if they're knocking you over. If you knock somebody else over, it's your fault. That's fair. That's fair play.
Hmm.
Would you ever go back to snowboarding, or are you comfortable skiing for the rest of your career, or the rest of your days?
Yeah, well, I have both. I can do both whenever I want. I have the equipment, so it just depends on the day. Even if I want to do snowboarding and skiing, I'm just more lenient to skiing most days.
So it depends how you feel.
Yeah,
about it.
exactly.
And did you do more skiing or snowboarding this past season?
This past season, I did only skiing.
Only skiing, no
Yeah.
snowboarding. You haven't touched the board at all.
No,
Weren't able to get out. But are you surrounded by mostly snowboarders or skiers when you're out on the hill?
mostly snowboarders. Yes.
Mostly the boys are snowboarders.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. So
Yes.
you're kind of the odd man out. You're trying switching it up to skiing, being special.
Hmm.
Okay,
Yeah.
I like that. I do skiing as well.
Oh yeah.
There's some controversy between skiing and snowboarding. That's why doing this interview. But
Mhm.
that'll move me on to my final question. Do you believe that there is actually a rivalry between the two sports? Is there really bad blood or not really?
Well, I'd like to say yes because it's always fun when it's a rivalry, but
Yeah, it's fun to go back and forth, tit for tat kind of
yeah,
thing.
but I think it's like dying down more.
Yeah, it's not
not.
that deep.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, we're on the hill, we're having fun with the boys, with the girls, whatever the case may be.
Mhm.
And you just want to enjoy the time on the hill. So thank you for your time, Pete. I
Yes.
enjoyed your thoughts on this topic, and have a nice day.
Thank you.
What was that? Thank you.
Thank you.